This beggar walked into a Swiss bank. He demanded to withdraw 40 million right away. Security immediately stopped him, telling him to stop making trouble and get out. But the beggar refused to leave. At this moment, the manager came over. He took out his computer, hoping to make the beggar give up. But the beggar successfully entered the account number and password. Then everyone was stunned. 40 million was just a small portion of the beggar's account. His account had exactly 45 billion. But such enormous wealth couldn't bring Henry any happiness. At this moment, his heart was filled with endless hatred. 15 years ago, he was just an ordinary fisherman, living a simple and pure life. He had a girlfriend whom he loved dearly, but on their wedding day, several police officers suddenly appeared and arrested him. The reason was that he had provided funds for criminals. This was clearly a fabrication, but Henry had no chance to defend himself. He could only watch helplessly as he was separated from his fiancée. Little did he know, this was all orchestrated by three friends working with the police. Henry was thrown into prison, forced to admit his crimes every day. He soon lost his will to live. But just then, the appearance of an old man gave him hope. He not only helped Henry escape prison, but also taught Henry various knowledge. In the end, the old man even left his huge inheritance to Henry. After successfully escaping, Henry used the account number provided by the old man, successfully withdrew 45 billion from the Swiss bank. With this money, revenge would be as easy as pie for him. He transformed himself and returned to his hometown on a yacht. After 15 years, the friends who framed him couldn't recognize him anymore. They had become a wealthy businessman, police chief, and famous celebrity. Henry didn't plan to take revenge in a crude way. Instead, he wanted them to suffer slowly. He first saved the celebrity's child who had accidentally fallen into water with his yacht, thus getting to know the celebrity. Then he found the police chief's wife had someone put allergenic sugar in her drink. When she had an allergic reaction, he appeared just in time to save her. With this move, he successfully got acquainted with the police chief. After that, he attracted the businessman under the pretense of investment. In a short time, he had quietly entered the lives of all three. Then he organized a party and invited the three to his mansion. The reason Henry invited them here was because of a secret. 15 years ago, this mansion belonged to the police chief. Back then, his lover had given birth to his child, but the police chief, who valued his reputation above all else, would not allow this child to exist. He hid the child near the statue in the courtyard. Now his former lover had become the businessman's wife, and no one knew about this. But what they didn't know was, that night, a thief had witnessed what the police chief did. Now Henry announced in front of everyone, he had found remains near the statue, but they looked like they belonged to a puppy. These words made the police chief very nervous, and the businessman's wife could barely stand. But Henry didn't intend to reveal the truth. He wasn't satisfied with such simple revenge. The very next day, Henry approached the businessman's wife again. He knew she had been lonely in her marriage, so he introduced her to a handsome young man. They quickly fell in love, but the businessman's wife didn't know. This young man was none other than the child the police chief had hidden 15 years ago.